Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back to another conspiracy video. No, I'm kidding, but for real, this is gonna be kind of a little paranormal story time, and I saved this story time for this week specifically because Halloween is this week coming up. Oh, actually I didn't save it. It happened to me literally a week ago, so that's the reason why I'm telling it now. But yeah, anyway, so I guess I can, oh, and before I go ahead and I start telling the story time, let me move back a little bit. Oh, I'm wearing a shirt that says good vibes because, well, not good vibes, good mood, because I'm trying to be positive and spread positivity, and I want to be in a good mood today. So maybe if I wear a shirt that says good mood, I'll be in a good mood. But anyway, so I was gonna say something. Oh, if you guys have not entered the giveaway, go ahead and enter the giveaway. I'm giving away a Forever 21 gift card, and I keep saying this in every video, but only like 3 people entered the giveaway so far, so you have a really high possibility of winning because there's no one that entered the giveaway yet. Anyway, so today's video is kind of like weird and like paranormal. So my grandma died in 2013, and I'm just like jumping right into it. My grandma died in 2013. It was very random. I guess I can tell you guys how she died. So she was pretty healthy. She would walk a lot, whatever. She lived in Colombia, and then one day she was crossing the street and she had just left the store, and she bought, I think, like a blanket and a pillow or whatever, because we were going to Colombia in December to spend Christmas in Colombia. So she was preparing so that she would have enough stuff to house all of us or to host the whole event or whatever. So then she was crossing the street, I guess to catch a taxi or something, and as she crossed the street she tripped and she fell over. She tripped over one of those what are they called, the fluorescent things that basically tell you what lane you're in. I don't know, I'll put a picture of it here. And she tripped and she fell, and her head landed on the pillows and the blankets, and she was in the middle of the street. Thankfully no one ran her over because she was in the middle of like a busy street, and she just fell and she was like laying there, and she broke her hip. So she broke her hip. The ambulance came. She got a hip replacement. She was recovering fine. December came around and she was much better. This was, I think, in June or July, so 6 months later she was better. We went to Colombia, we spent Christmas with her. Of course she couldn't walk the same as before, and she couldn't all that, but she was dancing, she was drinking, she was like doing all this stuff, and she was fine, you know, whatever. Then the new year comes. 2013 is the year she died. So in May, on my mom's birthday, which makes me so sad, my mom was sleeping one day and she had a dream with my grandma, and in the dream my grandma was telling her she's going to a party, and my mom was in the dream said, you can't go over there alone, you can't go to this party alone. And then my grandma said, no, this is a party you can't come to. And then my mom woke up to a phone call, and she saw it was her brother, my uncle, and she said, oh, he's just calling me to wish me happy birthday. So she didn't answer. She just, whatever, she was sleeping. She's like, he can call me later. And then he called again, and she's like, why is he so persistent? So then she answered, and then my uncle said, you have to come to Colombia now, our mom is dying. So she was like, what? I'm getting really sad thinking about it. So then she started crying immediately, and then like maybe 20 minutes later he called her back and said she's dead. So I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. Okay, calm down. So she called her friends because she was too flustered, she couldn't really do anything, and she told her friend, my mom just said, can you give me a plane ticket, because she was crying and she was like hysterical, and she couldn't do it for herself. Not that she couldn't do it for herself, but she was not in the right mind to like look and like be concentrated or whatever. She texts me and she says, it was her birthday, so I was thinking like, oh, we're gonna go out to eat later today. I was at school at this time, in high school. She texts me and she says, we can't go to dinner today, I can't pick you up from the bus stop. And I said, why not? I don't understand. I was at lunch at this point. She said, grandma just died. And I just started crying in front of all of, like, it was like a round table that we used to sit at, and then it was like 2 people in front of me, 2 people next to me, and then me and someone next to me. And I just started crying, and I texted my best friend at the time in the group, and I said my grandma just died, and she came to me and we went to the bathroom, and I just like sobbed in the bathroom. I finished the rest of the day, and then I went home. My mom wasn't home, and I always felt super sad because I didn't get to go to Colombia for my grandma's funeral. I didn't get to mourn with my family. Instead I was left with my stepdad, and yes, I left my stepdad, but he wasn't feeling the same way I was feeling. He was upset about it too because he knew her and, you know, they got along or whatever, but she was my grandma, so I didn't get to mourn with my sister. My sister was in New York, my mom was in Colombia. I didn't even get to see my mom. I'm gonna cry again, stop. I didn't think I would cry in this video. So then time passes on, I have to mourn by myself and whatever. Ever since then, I always had this big fear of dreaming with a family member because my mom jumped with my grandma the day she died. So every time I jumped with a family member, I would get paranoid. If I had a dream with my mom, I'd call my mom and be like, are you okay? I wouldn't say like that, but I would call her and just talk to her, and then by her answering the phone, I knew she was fine. So whenever, especially when I jumped with my grandma, I would be so freaked out, wake up and have so much anxiety. So fast forward to this Sunday. I woke up. No, I was sleeping, and in my sleep I had a dream with my grandma. We were in my childhood home, not the one that I did a room tour about. I haven't posted a room tour yet, so you won't know what I'm talking about, but the one I actually grew up in. I lived in this house from the age of 5 to 14, and then when I was 14 I moved to another house, which is the one I did the house tour on, which you haven't seen yet because I haven't uploaded, but you will see hopefully. So we were in this house, and I walked into my bedroom, and my grandma, whenever she came to Miami, she would sleep either with me or with my sister, or she always slept in the bed, obviously, and if need be, one of us would sleep on the couch. It didn't matter. My grandma, of course, had to be more comfortable than me. She was an older lady, older woman or whatever. So I walk into the room, and I think I'm in middle school at this point. Well, middle school, because it's a dream, and she's awake, and I look at her and I say, like, I don't know what I said, and then she said, I couldn't sleep last night. So now I said, oh really? I knocked the fuck out. Like, I don't even remember falling asleep. And then she's like, oh no, I couldn't sleep. So I give her a kiss and tell her I love her. I hug her, and then I don't know, I leave. I look in the closet, I start getting ready for school, and then I wake up. And then when I wake up, instead of feeling anxious, I start crying because I feel like happy to see her. I feel relieved. I just feel happy. I think like, oh, I saw my grandma, and in my dream I don't know she's dead, but when I wake up I know that she's dead, and I'm like, wow, I just had a dream with my grandma, and I felt happy, you know, like I got to see her again, you know. I didn't feel worried or anxious or anything like that. I go on my day, I forget I even had this dream with my grandma, and then my roommate texts me and she says, hey, this is totally random. I have the text messages, so I'll insert them here. She said, this is totally random, but has any of your grandmothers died? And I'm like, what the hell? That's such a random question. I thought maybe one of her grandparents died and she didn't know how to mourn with it. Like, I didn't know what she was asking. I was so confused, and I was like, oh, maybe she thought she meant to send it in the group chat, because we have a group chat with all of her roommates. I just answered. I'm like, oh yeah, my grandma died in 2013, and it's weird that you asked because I had a dream with her last night. And then she sends me this long ass paragraph, and I was like, what the hell? So the gist of it is, a while back she was having some nightmares, and in one of the nightmares she was sleeping and the chair was moving by itself. The way I interpret it is like a rocking chair just rocking by itself. The nightmare took place in her mom's house, so not where we live now, but in her mom's house. I don't know if she had the nightmare in the apartment we live in now, or she was sleeping at her mom's house. Like, I don't know the whole context, because I didn't ask her that many questions. So in the nightmare, a chair was moving by itself, so I'm thinking it's a rocking chair, or maybe the chair just like was dragged across the room. I have no idea. And she wakes up from the nightmare and she's totally freaked out, so she goes to the bathroom and tries to wake herself up. So I'm guessing she's splashing water in her face or whatever, and then she hears a noise in the background similar to that of the chair moving. So it's like maybe like a, I don't know, something. And she peeks her head out the bathroom and she sees that a picture frame that is usually hung up by two command hooks is hung up by one, and it's just like swaying back and forth. So she gets freaked out, and she says it's actually a frame of Audrey Hepburn. If you guys don't know who she is, it's her right here. Well, I think she's dead right now. So she's totally freaked out, and she goes to her aunt. And I asked her if her aunt was a medium or a psychic or something, but she didn't answer my question. So she goes to her aunt and she tells her, what can I do to get rid of these nightmares? So she had never spoken to her aunt about her roommates, because she said that she doesn't speak to her aunt that often, so she never had the opportunity to speak to her about her roommates. So her aunt says that there's this older woman, and she brings up the name Natalia, and she had never spoken to her aunt about me, Natalia. So then she said that the older woman was looking for her daughter, her granddaughter. So the only older woman that I know that has died is my grandma. So I'm guessing my grandma was like trying to contact me through my roommate, which is very odd. And I don't really understand if she was trying to contact me or if she was saying that she was protecting me, but this shit gets even creepier. So then she texts me, she says, do you know anything about a blue teddy bear? And when this happened, my face literally just like went, like I literally just like, I was reading the text and I was like, like I just couldn't, and she's like, what? And it's because I have this teddy bear that isn't the blue anymore, but I've had this teddy bear my whole life. It used to be my sister's teddy bear, but then I kind of stole it from my sister, and I've had this since I can remember. And this teddy bear has been along forever. And I think, yeah, I have a teddy bear. It's actually brown, but it has a blue suit on and blue pajamas on it. And then she's like, oh, thank you for validating this. And I asked her, what else did your aunt say? She said that her aunt didn't say anything else. And she's gonna try to sage the apartment and put crystals around to like not have any spirits around. I don't know. At first, when I first heard this, I was super freaked out because, yeah, I love my grandma, and I don't know if my grandma's like trying to protect me or I don't know what, but it's kind of scary to think about it. What if it's not my grandma? What if, I don't know, it's just eerie. Like, she's dead. I don't think they should communicate or do all that stuff. It's just, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps. And after hearing this, I could not sleep for the next 3 nights. I would fall asleep, and then if I would wake up in the middle of the night, I could not fall asleep again. I was so scared. I was having anxiety all the time because this stuff scares me a lot. And I think if it is my grandma, that's probably the reason that my grandma didn't try to reach out to me directly, because she's probably knows. And I'm acting like she's awake, or not awake, like she's alive, but this is what my mind is thinking. She probably knows that it scares me if she were to get in contact with me directly. So she tried to, I don't know, maybe send a signal that she's here with me or protecting me or something. I don't know. But it's very scary, and I have noticed a couple things happen around me that I kind of just brushed off. Like one time I was filming a video and my backpack, and it was actually exactly a week ago, I think. My backpack was laying on this little like ottoman thing I have. My backpack literally did a flip onto the floor. It was laying flat, and then it did a flip, and I was like, oh, that's weird. My backpack must have, like, I must have just thrown it on there and it just fell. Another day I was telling my friend this story, and we're sitting here in this room, and then you see that little like drawer thing in the background. It just made like a weird noise, like if something was moving it, but we both just looked at each other. And there has been a couple things here and there that have been weird, but I don't know. But yeah, that is this week's story time. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'm gonna put the screenshots in here, hopefully I did. And I guess telling the story now, it doesn't sound as scary as it did, but it was pretty freaky to me that happened to her. Maybe I'll message her more about it, and I'll like put the other screenshots on here. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. Whoa, did you guys see that? Oh no, that was so creepy. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.